Hello, I'm representing Rumspringa INK, and this is the review of Supremacy MMA. Since the launch of UFC, MMA has become one of the fastest, if not the fastest, rising sport in the world today. And like anything popular, that'll wind up bringing loads and loads of video games to that certain brand. And since THQ launched UFC Unleashed, they found out that MMA games can work as long as you put the time into them. Unlike UFC Unleashed, this game does not use real fighters. What they did is they created a fighter for each different fighting style. Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, boxing, and so on. And they gave each one of them a more or less over-the-top story background to them. I didn't think it worked quite that well myself because the voice acting wasn't good and the stories were really extreme and kind of far-fetched. Though the animation style I didn't like, and at times at times it was good, but it was just not a complete story that I could get behind that much. But who really plays an MMA game for the storyline? That just doesn't make any sense. But one thing that I thought was a little bit odd is if they were making up fighters, why couldn't they have a created player? But one thing that I did actually really like about MMA Supremacy is I did like the blood factor in it, and the way the bodies actually get beat up. Sounds kind of odd to say something like that, but in UFC Unleashed, I found that the fighters, while they got a little bit beat up, it wasn't to this over-the-top extent that MMA Supremacy does. Now, UFC Unleashed wound up having a plethora of different fighting styles and different fighters that are unique to each other. This game, it has basically one fighter for each different style. They are unique, but I find that my best strategy is to get him on the ground and just start punching him, because it's really easy to stay on him after that, because you just push circle to stay on him. It's when they try to throw you off, it's like they make a whole bunch of different fighting styles, but only one style really works. It's really odd, and I didn't think that played to this game's advantage. One of the bigger problems that I have with MMA is there is no one-hit knockouts. You have in UFC where if you time it out right and you hit them well, they'll get knocked out, even if it's at the beginning of a match. In this game, there is no instant KO, which at times is good, but at other times, it takes away from the whole bobbing and weaving thing, because before you go down, they need to get rid of the entire bar. It's one of those things that I don't think they should have in an MMA game. I think that an MMA game should allow one-hit knockouts, because in real life, it happens. In big fights, I don't know how many times I've seen somebody right out of the gate just get knocked out. So because of the lack of one-hit knockouts, fighters, create a fighter, different game modes, I give this game a 2 out of 5, simply because when you're holding this up to the bar, which is UFC Unleashed, it does not stand up. Thank you, this is Rumspringa INK. Please visit our website, join us on Facebook. We have a Fat Bastard clothing line coming soon. Thank you and goodbye.